My name is Alex. I am a rich man now. I live in a big house. I drive a fast black car. People think I have a good life, but I was not a happy child. I was a very lonely child, and the reason was my father. My father was not really a father. He was a shadow in our home, a quiet, tired ghost. His name was Edward. He worked every single day. He left our small house at 6 in the morning, before the sun even touched the sky. He came home at 10 at night when the moon was already watching us. He was always tired. He ate his dinner alone. He never talked to me. He just finished his food and went straight to bed. He worked on Saturdays. He worked on Sundays. He even worked on holidays. He was always at the factory. He lived like a machine. My mother, Helen, was a quiet woman, a sad woman. She watched him with tired eyes. She never complained. Our house stayed silent, a cold, empty kind of silent. I did not like that house. I did not like the man inside it. I went to school games. I played football for my team. I was good at it. I looked at the other fathers. They cheered for their sons. They clapped. They smiled. My father was never there. His chair was always empty. I was a boy with no father, and I carried a heavy anger. I hated him. I hated him again and again. My mother was the only warm thing in my world. My father was just another object in the room. Not a person, not my dad, just a money machine. I grew up. I left that cold house behind. I ran away from its silence. I went to university. I studied hard. I pushed myself. I wanted to be successful. I wanted to be the opposite of my father. I did not want to become a tired, broken machine. I wanted to feel alive. I wanted to be a real person. I got a good job. I worked hard. I was smart. Money came. More money came. I became rich. I bought a big, shining house. I bought a fast, beautiful car. I had everything. I told myself I had won. I told myself I was better than him. One Sunday, I went to visit my parents. They lived in that same small house. Nothing had changed. My father sat in his old brown chair. His hair was white now. His hands shook a little. He looked tired. He looked small. My mother sat beside him, quiet as always. My anger woke up again. The old fire returned. I looked at this weak old man, and I wanted him to feel everything I had felt. I wanted him to feel my childhood pain. I stood up. My voice was loud and sharp. I said, "I am a rich man now, Father. I am successful. But you have nothing. You are just a poor old man in a small old house." My mother whispered, "Alex, please, he is your father." But I did not stop. I looked straight at him and said, "You were never there for me. You missed every game. You never talked to me. You were not a father. Not to me." My hand pointed at him. It was shaking. "You were not a man," I said softly, but the words cut like a knife. "You were just a money machine." He did not speak. He did not lift his head. He just stared at the floor. His silence was like a broken window. Cold air came through it, and it hurt more than his words ever could. I walked out of the house. I did not look back. Last week, my father died. He was 70 years old. He died in that same small house. He died in that same old brown chair. He died alone. I did not cry. I did not scream. I did not feel peace. I did not feel pain. I just felt empty. A quiet, strange emptiness, like standing in a room with no air. I went to the house. I had to help my mother. My mother, Helen, was there. She sat at the small kitchen table. Her hands were folded. Her eyes were low. She did not speak. She did not move. The house felt too quiet. It felt like the silence was finally telling the truth. The machine was gone. The machine was finally broken. I had to clean the house. I had to find his papers. I had to find his money. He worked for 40 years. He worked every day. He never spent anything. He never rested. He never bought clothes. He never took a vacation. He must have money, I thought. He must have a secret. He must have saved everything. He was a cheap, silent man. He lived for money. Not for us. Not for me. The anger inside me grew again. I went to his bedroom. It was small, smaller than I remembered. I opened his closet. I looked under his bed. I searched every corner. Then I found it, an old brown box, heavy, dusty, locked with time. I carried it to the kitchen table. I said, "This is it, Mom. This is his secret. All his money is here." My mother did not lift her head. She just kept looking at her hands. I opened the box. Inside were many bank books, a whole stack of them. I smiled. I was right, I thought. He hid everything. I opened the first book. I was ready to see the big numbers, ready to see the hidden treasure, ready to hate him again. I looked at the first bank book. My hands began to shake. The numbers were small, very small, shockingly small. The account was empty. I opened the next one. It was also empty. Nothing. Zero. I felt the anger rise again. I said, "Where is the money? This cannot be true. He worked his whole life. Where is it?" I dug into the box. I threw the empty books on the floor. Under them there were papers, old white papers, hundreds of them. Not bank papers, something else, something colder. I picked one up. I read the name. The name was Helen, my mother's name. I looked at the words. Medicine, hospital room, doctor, treatment. The numbers were huge. The dates were old. They went back 20 years. 20 years of bills, 20 years of payments. My mother watched me quietly, her eyes soft, her eyes tired, her eyes sad. And slowly, like a light turning on in a dark room, I understood. My mother was sick, very sick. She had been sick for a long time. A quiet, hidden sickness. A very expensive sickness. And my father, the man I hated, the man I called a machine, worked from 6 in the morning to 10 at night to pay these bills. He worked on Saturdays. He worked on Sundays. He worked on holidays. He worked to keep her alive. He was not a money machine. He was a shield. He was a wall. He was a hero I never saw. He did not work for money. He did not work for a car. He worked so I could have a mother. He traded his life for hers and for mine. My knees touched the floor. I held the white papers in my hands. They felt heavier than the box, heavier than my anger. I looked at my mother. I could barely speak. The tears were warm and slow. Mom, why? Why didn't you tell me? She looked at me gently. Her voice was soft, like a whisper from another lifetime. He did not want you to worry, Alex. Her eyes shined with quiet pain. He did not want you to be sad. She looked at me as if seeing the child I once was. He just wanted you to be happy. He wanted you to have a good life. Thank you for spending time with our story. Please like, subscribe, and follow for more chapters.